Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new F125 League racing video. Today we head towards Abu Dhabi for Ironman League round number 2 of the championship. Last time out in Spa we finished second. Lacked a bit of pace, made the wrong calls with the strategy. So let's see if we can do it better today. Obviously, even though it's Abu Dhabi, there's still rain forecasted as the weather slots are custom made by the host. So it will rain at some point in this race. And that's why most people are on a hard compound of tires. It's lights out and away we go. Rain forecasted for around 30-40 minutes into the race. And that's why so many people are on hards. We got Otis Lawrence on our inside. He won last week. And that means he has to start last. We finished second. That means we have to start second last. As we head into sector 2, no positions gained or lost so far. As Julian Klaffenbach sends it down the inside, makes it 3 wide. Everyone just about stays on track there. And yeah, because this first stint is going to be so long, I decided, you know what, let's save tires. So we can run deeper into the race. Maybe some people are going to be forced to make a pit stop if we save tires.
Oh my god, it's bumpy as hell out there.
As you can even say there. I tried to go for a huge switchback, but there's something weird with the track going on there, where you like, it almost feels like you fall off the track. So yeah, that's why that switchback was so chalked, because I just couldn't. It's like my whole car bottomed out or something. So something weird going on. So yeah, that's something we have to keep in mind going forwards. And yeah, as you can hear me say there, everyone on hards. And we're in last place right now. So my plan was, let's just save tires, run deep into this first stint. Maybe some people have to make a pit stop and we don't. Or perhaps we can attack later, you know. Because there's a lot of good drivers ahead of me. Otis actually has made quite a few positions. He went for the opposite strategy. He was like, you know what, I'm going to go full push. And try to make some moves early on. But as you can see, it's starting to get dark already. And I could already kind of feel it coming, that the weather forecast that we saw on the strategy screen at the start of the race was just completely wrong. And that's why now I have started to push to try and make some moves. But yeah, suddenly it has started turning really dark. So let's see what we can do here. I'm not sure when exactly it's going to rain, of course. And now we're going to go on the overtake to try and get past Joni Tormola on the second DRS song. Maybe even get past Nicolas Long there around the outside here. That would be quite optimistic, but I can't. Not today. Julian also took quite a wide line, which meant even if I would have tried, I would have had a dirty air and I would have not made it. So yeah, kissing me there. Lifting quite early. I've gone a little bit low on the fuel, so we do have to save a little bit. But yeah, lap 10 already. You can see it's already started raining. That is not 30 to 40 minutes. So yeah, that's completely wrong. I guess lesson learned from the future on F125. You cannot look at the pre-race strategy screen when it comes down to weather, because it is fucking useless. End of lap 10, start of lap 11, we continue for another one. We gain 3 positions. And yeah, my idea was, you know, we're P19 anyway. It is way too dry to go for an undercut now. We are not going to undercut a lot of people and we're going to destroy the tire. So let's continue.
So this rain could be with us for a while. Light rain conditions for the foreseeable future. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now.
And yeah, that means, especially with our teammate boxing right now, I was like, you know what, let's continue one more even, because DRS is still enabled. And yeah, if this is going to be a long stint, we box for new inters. We're going to have a 2-lap advantage over the people who boxed end of lap 10. I think lap 11 is the best lap, but I didn't want to get held by my teammate. And I was like, you know what, we stay out another lap, maybe lose 2 seconds. We're about to find out, because Leo Lund is about to come out of the pits. 5.7 seconds behind us. So yeah, let's see how much he closes up this lap. But we are going to save a lot of tire wear, because we are still on quite a dry track. The slicks are still working, and that means they're going to be burning through their tires. DRS disabled now, which is unfortunate. It would have been nice if it happened just 20 seconds later. So we would have a DRS on this straight as well. But yeah, that's just how it goes. As you can see, grips, the car starting to get worse and worse. We've only lost 1 second so far to Leo Lund, but this last sector requires a lot of mechanical grip. And I reckon our tires are starting to struggle here. Big moment on the exit there. Everyone is drifting around. And
Understood. Stopping this lap.
yeah, it's really time for Inters now, especially this last sector. We're starting to drift around more and more. Leo Lund has gained 2 seconds so far.
2 seconds on this in lap.
Yeah, this last sector really screwed us over here.
Trying to track position anyway from P18.
We've lost 2 seconds just in this last sector alone, and I think in total the loss comes down to 3 seconds on this lap. But the question is, can we gain it back with the tire loss? In a normal race, probably not. But if you're driving on Inters on a dry track, that you can really screw them over.
Faster than Dennis.
So into the box we go. New set of Inters. A long stint ahead, probably. And let's see if we can make some moves.
I needed front wing.
Yeah, Lucas had to change front wing, but let's see if we can make some moves here on the intermediate conditions. We got a tire advantage to everyone ahead, apart from Istvan Pukki and Dani Beresne. So that is good news. But then the question is also, of course, how is the tire? If it was only 1%, 2% on this out lap, then it would have not been worth it. But yeah, if it's more, then perhaps it could be on such a long stint, especially, you know. So lap 13, as you can see me pull out
Duncan
of the slipstream. You might be wondering why on earth is he doing that. It's because the engine overheating, if you're driving in a train, is absolutely horrible. As if DRS trains were not bad enough yet. The engine overheating that we've got now has made it so much worse. I've got no idea why this was changed. Because what's going to happen now, especially in wet conditions, is that you just constantly end up cooling your engine and no one is going to be capable of making moves. And if you try, you just make the engine overheating worse. As you can see now, lap 17, I'm really close to Duncan. But this is going to screw my engine temperature even worse. And yeah, I'm not sure if that's a good idea. There's probably going to be some NPC in the comments that says, oh, in real life it's that bad as well. Well, it really depends on the cooling they add to the car. How much they cover their radiators by. So, yeah, it's not true as well. And yeah, the dirty air has increased, similar to what we run in F1 Esports, I would say, which I think was good. You know, it was bad. It was hard to get up close. But it was, I think, just about the right amount. And now with this engine overheating so easy, and it takes so incredibly long to cool down as well. It takes like 6-7 laps to cool down. And in F1 Esports or normal league races, that's like 30, 25, 30% of the race. So, yeah. I think the engine temperature has just been too much. Especially in the mid-pack, you know, or if you're towards the back, you're just gonna end up constantly overheating and not being able to make any moves. So, yeah. Lucas was 4.5 seconds behind us starting the stint. He's now half a second behind us. And that's just because of dirty air. Lucas is gonna have the same issue now. We're just gonna be stuck in this train. Overtaking in these wet conditions is just incredibly tough. Especially because it's so easy to drive as well. It looks like you're driving a hovercraft across the track as the Merc of Balint Elekes makes a mistake, and that gives us a position. But yeah, kudos to EA for improving the handling, at least in the dry. It's still a long way to go. I think there still need to be a lot of improvements made. But it's definitely better than F1 24. Not a huge amount, but it is better, that's for sure. But the wet is still incredibly bad. We're just constantly floating around like a hovercraft. It's terrible. It's also way too fast. Like, the lap times we're doing are insane. As we try to get past Duncan still. I'm pushing like crazy, but every time I attempt one of these moves, my engine overheats so bad, and it ends me up dropping so far back again. So yeah, it's no ideal. As I try to go around the outside, but then, yeah, we're on the wet line. We cannot do anything. As Lucas had a little sneak peek down the inside here. But yeah, as I said, he has the same issue now. The engine is going to overheat like crazy. Nothing you can do. You have to cool the engine again for 5, 6, 7 laps. And then you can finally go again. But 5, 6, 7 laps, that's a really long time. So yeah, we can kind of get close. It costs a lot of our tires. We really have to drift around even more in these wet conditions. But yeah, back to the lap time things. On intermediate conditions, I reckon we are 15 to 20 seconds faster than what they would do in real life on intermediate conditions. I remember in Brazil last year on F124. I was testing some intermediates at the start of the game on Brazil. And I remember I was doing similar lap times to what pole position was the year before. So that is insane. So, or maybe it was even the same year, I'm not sure. But intermediate conditions was same lap times as they would do in the dry, which is insane. Because wet conditions are supposed to be 20...
What the fuck was that?
15 seconds slower. As yeah, Lucas started to get desperate there as well. He had a huge hand down the inside, but the braking zone is so short. Yeah, he can't really pull that off. But he instantly let us go again. And even for like the next 2 laps, he didn't attack us, so he wouldn't gain an unfair advantage. So that's fair enough to him. So yeah, kudos to him for being fair there. As you could see, Dani pull into the pits there to go for another stop for the Inters, because yeah, I guess he was frustrated as well. Julian Klavenbok behind us has gone for an extra stop as well on the Inters. Box for a new set, and he is caught all the way back up. Because this train is moving so incredibly slow, people are capable of boxing for a new set and catching back up. But then the question is, as
Two
there's
cars on my inside.
two cars braking really late, they ended up colliding as well. Yeah, I had to avoid that, because otherwise PSGL would have given me a 10-second penalty. Oh wait, this is not PSGL. But yeah, we're just trying to catch back up to Duncan again after that. Yeah, Duncan with the 3-second penalty. I'm not sure if that can be removed this year. I heard something about stewards getting involved now to remove in-game penalties. I'm not sure if that's actually a thing or not. I need to check that before next round. There is some argy-bargy going up front going on. Yeah. Still drifting around at the end of lap 38. I still not got to pass Duncan. To be honest, it's hard to say who's faster as well in these dirty air conditions. This wall train, someone could be a second a lap faster, but yeah, with the dirty air, with the lack of slipstream when you're really close behind someone, no DRS, and the engine overheating, it all makes it very, very hard to overtake. Yeah, you can see I'm trying to get the power down to the right-hander in the dirty air. I just can't. We got Julian Klavenbok behind us, and now I see a nice opportunity on Nicolas Longuet and Duncan Hovland. I'm trying to get the power down. Unfortunately, we can't quite on that wet line right there, on the wet part of the track. And now we're going to drain our battery. We're near 100% exiting that corner, and we're going to go down the inside in the next left-hander. I broke late, but Nicolas broke even later. Makes contact with Isvan, and now we've got Duncan down our inside. I tried to sneak my way on the left, but I think Isvan never saw me there.
Right or left there.
And now we're going to have a good run on Nicolas Longuet. We go down the inside. He's first a little bit to the left, but I can't slow the car down anymore. And somehow everyone stays on track. It's 3 wide again. I'm trying to leave space on the inside, on the outside, but there is just not enough space. We make contact again. And somehow, I think everyone has gotten out of that without damage, without spinning out. Perhaps my move was a little bit optimistic, making it 3 wide, but desperation started to creep in right there. You have to imagine, I have basically been in the same place for 30 laps. Obviously, we overtook Balint, Lekas, but he lacked a lot of pace, maybe even had damage. Not sure what was going on with him. But other than that, we've been in the same spot for 30 laps. Feeling like I have lots of pace. By now, I think I've completely destroyed my tires out of frustration trying to get past Duncan. But, yeah. We finally managed to get past. Maybe it wasn't completely fair, to be honest. I'm not sure. Maybe we should have been penalized. I'm not sure. But it is what it is. I'm sorry if it was unfair. I'm not even sure at this point. It was a very, very late move. I was alongside, but was I far enough alongside? Maybe not. Anyway, let's focus on the rest of the race, lap 43. You can see it has dried up. So at the end of this one, I think we've done 34 laps on this set of... Sorry, not 34 laps. We boxed at the end of lap 12. At the end of this one, we would have done 31 laps on this set of inters. So a lot of people have retired from this race, actually. So, yeah, they've given up in the hunt towards points, which I think was a little bit weird because there was only 16 laps remaining. If there's a safety car, you can still, do something at least. Reese van Pookie sends it down the inside of Andre Molnar, which gives us the switchback. We learned from lap 1 not to go too deep with setting up the right-hander, and now we get a good exit. We got a lot of battery remaining. Up to P10 we go. Jake Benham, our ex-teammate, 2.2 seconds up the road, and then Ismail Fassi, 15.7 seconds up the road. Yeah. I think
it was dry enough, to be honest.
I think we can call that GG's. And yeah, we've just been stuck in the train for so incredibly long, and it has lost us so much time. Yeah, our teammate has boxed, yet we can still double stack because he is so far ahead. You can see P1 is entering the second DRS rate right now. He would not be far away from lapping us if he would not box. So yeah, onto the hards we go. A lot of people opting for the mediums. Abu Dhabi does have the softest compounds available, C543, and that's why I went for
feedback again.
That's why I went for the C3. I lost for feedback on the exit again. And if you're in a critical traction zone, it makes it really hard to keep the car in a straight line. Out we come then in P11. We got Otis Lawrence, who started next to us 21 seconds on the road. But remember, he was more aggressive in that opening stint. He did the opposite to us,
At least we got a
which, I guess made him come out ahead of people who perhaps were just at dog shit pace in the dry or in the wet. And that's the difference. It just, I think he did not overtake a lot of people in the wet at all, but just had the right pit lap and then overtook a lot of people in the dry and just gave him clear air, which gives you the possibility to just drive away from a DRS rain we went. So yeah, Ismail Fassi 14 seconds ahead. Remember, it was 15.7, so we have closed up quite a bit here actually. We also had around a 2-second undercut on Jake Benham. He has gone for the mediums, as you can see there. But yeah, he couldn't pull out of the DRS. Obviously, mediums were a little bit faster in the beginning, but I was aiming for that last lap because at most we are getting P9 here, and I want to save that set of mediums in case of a safety car. However, that safety car never came, and me and Jake just worked together for a few laps to try and somewhat close into the cars I had, but we knew as well that it would have to end up being a safety car, otherwise it was going to end up in a battle between me, Jake, and Danny, the 2023 Merc boys. So yeah, just over a lap to go. We can head into the final corner now. We're not going to get DRS. And this was kind of a bit of practice, it's only 1 point. And I was wondering, can we stay ahead of Jake going into the last lap while we don't get DRS? On last year's F1 Esports build, you could. It was tough, but you could. On the standard build of the game, you could not. It was impossible to stay ahead. So yeah, here we go. On to the first DRS rate. We had a good exit, good minimum speed, good exit as well. And as we had over the DRS activation, we are 7.8 tenths ahead. Draining our battery, you can see we are running quite low right here, down to 30%. And we still have a 5.610 gap as we head into the chicane. Got a good exit again, a little bit of a moment, but yeah, by the time we hit the DRS activation, we're 7.1 tenths ahead again. So good chicane from us there. We are out of battery, but it doesn't matter anymore. We are going to stay ahead here in this last sector. Leo Lund wins the race. Our teammate finishes in P3. But yeah, you can see it from our pace. This was horrible. If I knew it was going to be this impossible to overtake in the wet, I would have obviously gone for a more aggressive strategy. I would have also pushed a lot harder in the beginning. I also simply didn't know it was going to rain that early on. So yeah, it's kind of 2 races ruined now by strategy. Perhaps some things I couldn't have not known as well, like how hard it was going to be to overtake in the wet. Because yeah, I don't think I've ever been in a league race where I was this bored. I mean, there was some action. Probably in the YouTube video there's some action because I've cut it up. But that was all the action there was for over 1.5 hours. So yeah, this was a very, very long race. Very boring race. And I think the most boring race I've ever been a part of in F1 league racing. So yeah. In the future, there's going to be less wet weather slots for the Ironman League to kind of avoid this. 40 laps on the inters. The tire wear was really low as well, which made the race even worse. And then we had the engine overheating, or everyone in train had the engine overheating, which made it just nearly impossible to overtake cleanly. So yeah, let's hope next week out it's going to be better. At least we're going to be starting further towards the front because we've dropped in the championship. Quite a lot of points. I think we've dropped down to P5 now. But yeah, interesting bug right here as well. We never got the results screen. We just loaded back into another race straight away. Same grid order, by the way. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe. I can't even speak anymore. Make sure to check out ionaolmer.com for my merchandise, sim racing gloves, everything. And see you guys next time. Ciao.